Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cinderella phenomenon. So, I decided that both Lucettes personality would be to go outside, and also, since Rod route, we talk to Rod and be like, "Hello Rod, you like pretty girl inside? Why upset how she not with you?" So let's go talk to Rod. My time might be better spent trying to improve Rod's opinion of me. If I could get him to tell me precisely what I've done wrong, I can make up for it. I hope that would give me a good deed. I curtsy to the two girls. "Excuse me, Your Highness. I shall wait outside with Rod." I cough to clear my throat. "With the prince." "Okay, I won't be long." I move to stand next to Rod, who is leaning against the wall. Rod sighs in annoyance. "Why do you keep on following me?" "Tell me how to rectify whatever wrong I have done to your family." "This again?" I cannot help but scowl at Rod's answer. "You spout all this nonsense about goodness, but refuse to help me. How is that good?" "You haven't given me any reason to help you." "What?" "If you're not serious about genuinely learning how to be good, then I'm not interested in helping you." Maybe I can catch him off guard by bringing up his response in the toy shop just now. Fine! Then I will make normal conversation. Who is Viorica to you? Has she done something to hurt your family too? Viorica is a childhood friend. She is not like you at all. Oh, then why were you acting so cold to her? You obviously didn't want to be inside the shop. Rod looks away from me and absently kicks a pebble on the ground. That is none of your business. I sigh, disappointed with Rod's reaction. Rod turns away from me as Emmeline exits the shop. Ready to go? Emmeline nods with a small smile. The two of us begin to make our way to the palace again. Pardon me. By the time we return to the palace, evening has fallen. I hope we are not late for dinner. The minute the carriage doors open, we are greeted by two familiar faces. Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros stand before us. Yeah, we know you guys. We know you do something bad. Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod. I was on my way to look for you when Sir Mithros informed me of your whereabouts. He glares at the knight escort and the knight shrinks back. Sir Alcaster turns sharply to me afterwards, his eyes narrowed. Why is he looking at me like that? It was getting late and the queen was worried. I'm so sorry. Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod, it's almost time for dinner. Please, let me escort you inside. Sir Mithros gestures for them to follow him. I am about to follow after them when Sir Alcaster suddenly moves to block my path. His eyes are cold. He opens his mouth to say something, but then closes it and shakes his head. He knows. You are dismissed, girl. You may go back to your quarters. But that is an order. His gaze is piercing. Even when I was the princess, I was not able to stand up to that gaze. Yes, sir. After dinner, I make my way back to the room assigned to me. As I walk down the hall, I notice Rod heading in my direction. Rod? He suddenly grabs my arm and pulls me away down the hall. Where are you taking me? Rod does not answer, and just continues moving until we reach an unfamiliar door. What is going on? Rod cuts me off by placing a finger on my lips. He looks around warily before finally pulling me in through the door with him. This place. I have heard of this place before, but I have never seen it. Is this the secret passage that leads into town? Rod does not answer me. He simply keeps walking, and I see no other option but to trail after him. How is it that you know this place? He still refuses to answer. Are you deaf? Rod suddenly stops and I bump into his back. I stumble back with a scowl. You ask too many questions. Because you refuse to answer any of them. I glare back at him until Rod makes an exasperated sound. Lady Parfait is the one who told me about this passage. It makes sneaking out of the palace easier. Parfait? She did not give me any explanation as to how she knew of this place. There are only meant to be 2 copies of the keys. The king has one and Sir Alcaster has the other. Then why do you have a key? Don't tell me you stole it from the king. I am not a thief. Lady Parfait also has a copy. She saw fit to provide me with a key for my own use. What? How does Parfait have a key to this place? You'll have to ask her that yourself. Once we step into town, I realize that is where it is that we are headed. We are going back to the Marchin. He's gonna be like, Delora, you've got some splaining to do. Delora is the first person we see as soon as we enter the Marchin. Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. Delora, you... Rod's glare silences me. He steps forward and points back at me, gaze icy. She is not staying at the palace. What? Delora raises an eyebrow. Why's that? She works there now. I do not know what game you are playing, but I will not be a part of it. Excuse me? This is not a game. I do not want you meddling in my life as you have meddled with hers. The room's temperature drops several degrees. Delora stares at Rod, her expression suddenly lacking any emotion. With all due respect, Your Highness, I do not want to meddle with your wallowing. But just because you do not wish to break your curse doesn't mean that others shouldn't want to either. You should be humbled that our princess here thought you would be able to help her. Rod raises an eyebrow. Where's Lady Parfait? Of course you want to talk to Parfait, because she puts things nicely. Fine, I'll fetch her for you. Delora curtsies as she sweeps out of the room. Rod sighs. He clearly looks irritated, but he doesn't put a voice to his agitation. Now that we're alone in the empty room, the silence is deafening. And so, I ask him the question that has bothered me since we came here. I mean, the one about the palace is obvious. But I feel like he would not want to talk about his own curse. Like, this might be an easier place to start, maybe? I don't know. The further away you are from my family, the better. I glare at him. Your reaction is completely unwarranted. I'm trying to make up for what I've done in the past. Only because you're being forced to. Why should that make any difference? Besides, I'm still willing to help you break your curse, even though it appears you do not want to. I do not realize the anger inside of me at first, and then I notice that my hands are fists and I am shaking. You are angry at me for treating your family with unkindness, and yet you do not treat me with any respect or kindness either. Excuse me? I realize that this is the angriest I have felt in a long time, and it makes the words fall out of my mouth. You are guilty of the same disrespect you hold me accountable for. We are both being cruel to family, aren't we? Rod's eyes are ablaze as he stalks toward me. He stops right in front of me, his mouth pressed into a firm line. As you are so fond of telling Emmeline, we do not share any blood. The only thing pulling us together is the king, and you do not share his morals. Remember this, Lucette. You will never be a part of my family. And I will never see you as a sister. Rod storms out of the reception area just as Delora enters. Sorry, looks like Parfait wasn't in. She pauses, then gives me a wry smile. Seems this partnership is going well. I throw my hands up in anger. He is infuriating! Not as helpful as you thought? I was surprised you were asking for his help in the first place. All I have been doing today is following around Emmeline, and he still finds reason to snap at me. In his eyes, I can do nothing right, even though I am making an honest effort to break my curse. Delora eyes me as she slides down into a chair. Has he told you anything about his curse? Nothing useful. Delora sighs. Boys can be so secretive about the silliest things. Rod has been aware of how to break his curse from the very beginning. Then why hasn't he broken it? I have no idea. I think the only other person who knows the full terms and conditions of Rod's curse is Parfait. Parfait? Pardon me. Parfait has known Rod for a while. She convinced him to keep coming to the Marchin even after he gave up on breaking his curse. Parfait also thinks that working with you will convince Rod to try finding another way to break his curse. Another way? Don't ask me. I don't know much about his curse either. But if you keep trying, you might convince Rod to talk. I doubt that very much. It seems that all I am doing is convincing Rod that I do not deserve to break my own curse. Delora looks at me curiously for a few moments, then she grins. I have an idea. It is another terrible idea. Oh no, this one's much better. Trust me. I know things. I drink and I know things. I'm a wine ant. I'll just stick around with you, watch out for you. What? Delora? Watch out for me? This worked out so well last time. And she's a doll again. I'm surprised when Delora suddenly stands before me in her doll form. There's no way you and Rod are going to sort yourselves out without some kind of help, so I'll be tagging along. It's much easier when I'm travel-sized. Why do I feel like she'll only make things worse? Come on, then. Delora somehow manages to jump into the front pocket of my apron, which is thankfully large enough to fit her doll body. Let's go find us a prince and get ourselves back to the palace. I wasn't expecting that, let's be honest. To be completely honest. Not in the slightest. It has been more than a week since Rod and I returned to the Marchin. He has been avoiding me ever since that day. Not that we have much cause to be around each other nowadays. I am constantly on my feet preparing for Emmeline's ball. This is ridiculous. Better to be busy than bored, princess. I stop for a moment to better balance the pile of fabrics that I am carrying. One of the maids has ordered me to bring this to a designated room so that it can be sorted out. I am being reduced to fetching and carrying. And I have made no progress in accomplishing my first good deed. I doubt that simply following orders from the other maids will help me get my first good deed. I feel a shuffling in my pocket and then notice Delora peeking her porcelain face out. Better to obey rather than disobey, at least. You're not going to get a good deed by being stubborn. Anyway, you've got to put yourself out there a bit more, princess. You can't just do whatever is convenient for you. That's not good. Delora has been no help at all. Oh, wait, I recognize this place. Isn't this where your room is? I stop in front of the door to my old bedroom. Ever since I came here, I have been ignoring this room, not wanting to see what the king did to it during my absence. Do you not want to go in? Why should I? It's not as if it's my room anymore. Oh, you're no fun. Aren't you curious about how it's changed? I'd be lying if I was saying I wasn't. I guess a little peek wouldn't hurt. I step into the room and close the door behind me. It's like stepping into the past. The room is exactly as I left it. It seems completely untouched. Moments later, Delora is standing before me in her human form. It looks like someone's been dusting in here. Strange, considering no one should remember who this room even belongs to. I glance around, eyes wide. Everything looks the same. I put the fabrics that I'm carrying down on my bed and make my way to the shelf where my dolls are displayed. My eyes pause on a specific doll. This one was not here before. Delora raises an eyebrow. Maybe you just don't remember that one because she wasn't very memorable. You do have a lot of dolls, after all. No, I know each of my dolls by name. They were my only friends. This one is definitely new. She looks very similar to the dolls I saw at Viorica's shop. I quickly turn at the sound of the doorknob. My eyes move to Delora, but she's already turned into a doll and tucked herself into a corner of the shelf with the rest of my dolls. Emmeline stands in the doorway, eyeing me curiously. Lucette, what are you doing here? I made a mistake and thought I was supposed to bring these fabrics here. I hope she does not see through my lie. Emmeline shakes her head, smiling. It's not your fault, Lucette. You're still getting used to the palace and its many rooms. I got lost here all the time when I first arrived, too. This room is interesting, though. Father expressly ordered that it be kept clean, but otherwise undisturbed. Why would he say that? He won't say why. But apparently this room is very special to him. Maybe it belonged to someone he cherished. Cherished? What a joke. Still, I cannot help but feel hope at her suggestion. I don't think Father would like either of us. Oh, sorry. I I don't think Father would like either of us being in here. We should leave soon. I only came here to put a ribbon on one of the dolls. One of the dolls? Yes, I've put one on my dolls here. I've put one of my dolls here. She walks past me and pick up the doll I did not recognize. I bought this. I know Emmeline always visited Viorica, but I did not think that she liked dolls. She always preferred receiving and buying books, so why does she have this doll? Do you like dolls? Well, I mean, I don't mind them, but I usually don't buy them for myself, no. So why did you buy this one? Emmeline looks at the doll with a sad smile and shakes her head. I'm not sure. Oh, she was the one who gave Lucette all her dolls. Was she the one who threw the tiny birthday parties? Oh, my heart. I bought it as a gift. I remember that much. I was going to give it to someone who liked dolls. Someone I wanted to befriend. I don't know why, but it feels right to leave the doll here until I can remember whom I was meant to give her to. Emmeline is silent for a moment before she turns to me with a bright smile. I know you have a delivery to make, but could you come with me to the palace entrance first? Mother is still busy talking with the cooks, so the fabrics can wait. I resist the urge to glare at her. She better not be dragging me around to do yet more errands. I'm expecting a delivery, and I might need your help. I can't believe Lucette hasn't put the dots together. This dot, that dot, this dot, this dot. There. They're dots together now. I thought so. I have no choice but to nod. Of course. I begrudgingly follow Emmeline to the entrance, and there I see the delivery carriage. A familiar person stands beside it. Viorica! Emmeline pulls Viorica into a tight hug. I turn my attention away to glare at the number of boxes at the back of the carriage. I will no doubt have to help carry them inside. How are the preparations for the ball coming? Emmeline's smile seems forced at first, but then eases into something softer. It's going well, I suppose. How about the wedding? Desimond and I have finalized the date. It will be 2 days after your ball. I can't wait to see you in your wedding dress. These two always talk so much when they get together. They're friends. It's what friends do, is they talk for hours on end. Like, you pull into their parking lot at midnight and then you leave at 4 in the morning when you finally stop talking. That's what friendship is. I ignore their chatter as I walk up to the carriage to observe the boxes piled inside. What is in the boxes? Oh! Viorica reaches out to grab one. She hands it to me. I'm helping with the ball decorations. I came by with part of the order today. Part of it? Careful, it's a bit heavy. I take the box from her hands and nearly stumble. This is heavy. Emmeline should have the male servants do this. Queen Ophelia placed quite a large order. I brought the more fragile decorations first. Oh, the glass baubles and vases? The ones that'll break easily with my weak female servant? Oh, how wonderful. Let's have her destroy everything. I grit my teeth as I shift the box in my arms in an attempt to make it easier to hold. I thought you worked at a toy shop? Yes, but we also have aisles dedicated specifically to party decorations. What kind of toy shop is that? Lucette, will you be all right? I feel annoyance simmer within me. I am obviously not all right. Emmeline reaches out to help me with the box, but she is too late. I have only taken one step forward when the box slides and I stumble. I manage to cradle it in my arms, but its weight is too much for me. Before I hit the ground, I feel strong arms around my waist, pulling me back upright. The box is taken from me. There he is. Hey, I was kind of hoping it would be Fritz, but we're not on Fritz's route, which makes me really sad. My heart and mind are racing, and for a moment I cannot comprehend what has just happened. Are you all right? Rod? I glance to the side and I'm shocked to see Rod standing there. The expression on his face gives nothing away, but with our close distance I can see some flicker of emotion in his bright eyes. Concern? Lucette, I am so sorry! Are you okay? Rod pushes me and I stumble forward, almost tripping on the ground. He raises an eyebrow at me. Know your limits, Lucette. I glare at him as anger begins to bubble in my chest. So far, telling him off has been the right move. But we're at that mark. So we will tell him off in the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you then. So bye-bye.